The National Retail Federation predicts holiday spending in the U.S. will rise as much as 10.5% over last year. And a big reason for that is just about everything costs more. CBS Sunday Morning's David Pogue explains why with a crash course on inflation.
You might have noticed there's something crazy going on with the prices of everything. Restaurant prices are up 5% over a year ago. Cars, furniture, meat, fish, and eggs up 10 to 12%. Used cars up 24%. And gasoline. Gasoline is about 50% more expensive than it was a year ago, and heating oil has the same problem. It could be an expensive winter. At the heart of all of this is one of the fundamentals of economics, supply and demand, as illustrated today by the David Pogue Thespian Ensemble.
Water here, get your dehydrated water, $4, $3, $2.
When there's a lot of supply and not much demand, the prices go down. But when there's very limited supply and a lot of demand, the prices go way up.
I got the last 2 tickets to see Lady Gaga.
I'll take them
Front row.
right here, buddy.
Do I hear $800 each? $900. $1,000?
The question is, why now? Megan?
It's just eating into people's buying power. So that has real implications on every American.
Economist Megan Green is a senior fellow at Harvard's Kennedy School and chief economist at the Kroll Institute.
What did the pandemic do to supply?
So when we shut down the whole economy, that automatically caused disruptions in parts of a really complex global supply chain. We're seeing huge backlogs in terms of containers waiting in ports and ships waiting offshore, and that's partly because of labor. So we can't find truckers or longshoremen in order to get all of these goods off of ships, into ports, and onto shelves.
All right, so what about demand?
As we reopen the economy, there's just been this surge in demand as people go out to buy stuff. On top of that, you have the Christmas holiday season coming.
The spike in gas prices is a different problem. Oil companies who lost money during the Great Lockdown are now limiting how much oil they produce.
Oil, get you oil. Oil, get you oil.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, listen, buddy. During the lockdown, you people weren't flying or driving. We made all this oil that we couldn't sell. We are not getting burned again.
Yeah, but you're driving up the prices of gas and food.
Not my problem, pal. Oil, get you oil.
If you're old enough, you might remember the big inflationary cycle of the 70s and early 80s. Mortgage rates at 18%. But Megan Green thinks that this cycle won't be like that one.
I actually think what we're facing right now is pretty different. In the 70s, we had really high inflation and really low growth. It's called stagflation.
But during the lockdown, many companies made themselves more productive by investing in automation and other improvements.
So if we have productivity growth, it doesn't necessarily result in higher prices.
Does the fact that our government has poured trillions of dollars of cash into the economy play a part in all this?
So what the government has already done certainly has fed the flames of inflation a bit, and it was sort of designed to do that. Don't forget, the stimulus was offered in order to get the economy going and jump-started after it had been put in a deep freeze.
And what about the trillions of dollars yet to come as part of the new infrastructure spending bill?
And there I'm a lot less worried. The fiscal stimulus measures on the table are all due to be deployed over the next 10 years. A lot of it is aimed at infrastructure spending. And because we don't have many good shovel-ready projects ready to go, infrastructure spending ends up being kind of back-ended.
All right, Megan, so the big question, when will this end?
What I think, unfortunately, we need to see is both demand to wane and also this backlog in the supply chain to be alleviated. And so I think that we'll probably really see inflation abate in early 2023.
So there's your crash course in the inflationary cycle of 2021 and 2022 and 2023. The pandemic triggered a shortage of almost everything, and the recovery triggered an increase in demand for almost everything. Things will not get back to normal until supply and demand even out again. Diagrams. Get your economics diagrams.
For more on the supply part of the equation and how it will affect the holidays, let's bring in John Quelch. He is the Dean of the Herbert Business School at the University of Miami. Dean Quelch, thanks for being here. We were hearing, some dire predictions in the last couple of months about nothing being available for the holidays and that we need to start our Christmas shopping in September. What's actually happening?
The consumer did respond to those suggestions, and also retailers brought forward the start of their seasonal shopping sales in order to spread out the flow of demand between, in fact, late October and the end of the year, so that they wouldn't get quite as badly hit by spot shortages of supply resulting in shelf stockouts. So the consumer did actually respond to the concerns about supply chain shortages, and a certain amount of the seasonal buying has been brought forward as a result.
So how are companies then responding to the choke points in the supply chain?
Well, of course, it's in the interest of manufacturers and retailers to sort out these supply chain problems as soon as possible. They don't want to lose sales to consumers as a result of shelf stockouts. So they've been working really hard on this issue. But as you know, the global supply chain shortages are endemic, and they do take months to actually work out. As your previous report indicated, there are labor shortages as well as misplaced shipping containers and backups outside of the ports in LA and Long Beach, as well as in other parts of the world. So all of this will take, we think, around about another 4 to 5 months to work itself through.
All right. So, Dean Quelch, given what you were saying about some consumers doing their shopping earlier and sort of spreading out the Christmas season, which is usually more contained to this period between Thanksgiving to Christmas Eve, do people who haven't done their Christmas shopping already need to be concerned?
Yes, this is not a good year to be a procrastinator. And probably not a good year to be the son or daughter of parents who are procrastinators. The advice would be, if there's something on your shopping list that is a must-have for a loved one and you see it, don't worry about haggling over the price or waiting for a deal, because that deal may not come this year. You should take it off the shelf if you see it. And in addition, probably makes sense to shop around. If there are items that you can't find immediately, you may need to shop around online, perhaps put your information on a waiting list, because in some cases, retailers actually do not know what shipments they are actually going to receive from one week to the next, given the supply chain constraints.
That's a really unusual and important point. Is there a lesson for us in the future about what to do to try and help better help better buttress, I guess, our economic system so that we don't experience these types of problems in the future?
Well, of course, some people will say and have been saying that the lesson is that our global supply chains are too long, that we're too dependent upon foreign sources of supply. But the fact is that those products, even with the lengthy transportation shipment periods from Asia, those products are still being made typically cheaper in Asia than they could be made in the U.S. So it's very difficult to simply turn the switch off global supply chains and have everything be made domestically. The skill sets are not necessarily in abundance here, and in addition, the cost of production that much higher. Labor may also be not that readily available. So what we have to do is, I think, have stronger what we call buffer inventories in the system. Those are inventories that are held in reserve at different points in the supply chain in order to deal with unexpected disruptions in the supply process.
All right. Dean John Quelch, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Lana. Thank you.